What is going on, my friends? It is Bo Daddy here on a Sunday night, and we are taking a request from a super awesome student of mine who goes by the name Had Edits out here in the wild, wonderful world of YouTube. So thank you for the suggestion. We've been asked to draw 4 cute brown bobas all in a row with the big word boba beans across it. So we did a little research and discussion and found that we were discussing boba teas, which originate off in the East. And if you're not familiar, they have a chewy, kind of bouncy texture to them. They're often very sweet. And the brown one could be a number of things, but I'm familiar with Hokkaido, which is a type of creamy sweetened milk from a specific region in Japan. It can have cassava root, it can have brown sugar, it can have caramel added to the tapioca pearls that are floating around in the boba drink. So very sweet. Not really my style, but it's a really interesting texture, so I do like that much of it. I just try to steer clear of all the sweets, if you know what I'm saying. So tonight we're going to talk about drawing 3D, because that's what we're doing in the 9 weeks at school right now. We're moved away from the flat shapes and into three-dimensional, which has 3 directions it moves: up and down, side to side, and front to back. So it looks as though it's popping off the page or whatever surface you're working on. Also, we're going to be talking about the importance of the pencil, outlining, and doing some research. So since I'm doing 4, we got our basic design here. We have some information, some names, some words to use, and then some different cute little face ideas to put on top of each one. So let's bounce on into the creation station and check it out. All right, welcome back to the creation station, and we are landscape orientation today because we are doing 4 bobas in a row. And to make it a little bit more exciting, we're gonna have them kind of bouncing up and down to go with our word. We're gonna go across the top. So what we are gonna do to make our 3D shape is we are gonna start with an oval for each one at the bottom, and I'm gonna go ahead and kind of make them like this, make a little skippy one right here at the top, and then we're just gonna kind of fix them at the end. And so I'll kind of put this one sort of back in the middle. All right, and I'm gonna give them a little bit of movement. All right, so they appear kind of bouncy. All right, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna do kind of a matching oval at the top that might be a little bit wider. So this one's gonna be kind of aiming a little bit more towards the inside. And then like this. All right, and then we'll have one going out a little bit, like that. All right, and then one kind of turned in a fair bit, like this guy. All right, so we got some sort of bounce and movement there. Now, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and outline the bottom portion of the shape, and we're gonna work our way up the edge, and then around the top, we're just gonna kind of go a little bit extra around there to make it look sort of like a cap. And then you might have to do some erasing when you're done. So we're gonna go back around the bottom again, up to the edge, and then off the edge a little bit and over a bit to make it look like a cap. All right, so we're gonna repeat that for the rest of them, and if you need to alter the shape slightly to make it look a little bit more realistic, those are little choices that you're gonna have to make. And then the same thing on the last one. Come around here and kind of go a little bit wider on the top. All right, just like that. Okay, so we have our cups all ready to go. And one thing that I noticed is I could have slowed down a little bit with the pencil because we are also going to be adding straws. So all of our straws are going to be black straws. That's just a decision that we're going to have to make. Otherwise, we could make the decision to have clear straws and have the issue of seeing what's behind with the overlapping, since I went ahead with the Sharpie. And I think black is going to look better because it'll add some contrast to our artwork. So I'm going ahead right now. I'm using the eraser to tidy some things up before we move on. All right, so for the straws, it's going to be the same deal, except we're going to keep them similar in size. So we're going to kind of do more of a circular oval shape in the center, not as wide and stretched out. So it's going to look a whole lot more like a circle, and hopefully it will also give us some direction in our artwork. So I'm going to make the straws go straight up at a certain angle and match them at the top. All right, so this one is gonna go a little bit to the left. Okay, and then this one's pretty much gonna go straight up, the one that we started with. And then this one's gonna go slightly to the left again. All right, so we've got our boba straws. And maybe just for fun, we're gonna keep the inside light, and we might just make it brown once we get to our coloring portion, so that you can see what that would look like. So no need to erase here, since we are just going right over it with the black Sharpie. And what I'm doing right now is I'm filling it in. And when I use a Sharpie, I don't like to fill in large areas, but small areas like this, I think it looks really great. Kind of looks like you made a bold text or something like that. So we're gonna go ahead and just fill all of them in real quick and move to the last one. All right, so there we go. We have our 4 little bobas here. And now I'm gonna quick reference my faces. All right, so at the bottom, we're gonna have that dark settled area, which is gonna look, it's gonna kind of tilt downwards a little, and this is what the tapioca pearls are resting on. So we're just gonna make it a little bouncy. And we're gonna make it a little bouncy. And we're gonna work our way across to the last one. All right, so then we're gonna have pearls, and they can be sort of floating, touching, not touching, clumped together in a group on the edge, however you want that to look. So we're gonna make each one a little bit unique and different, and kind of stack a few up over here and maybe 2 right there. So we're going to give each one a little bit of variety. Maybe we'll have a floater over here and 2. All right, and then here we'll have kind of a clump and a bump, and there we go. All right, so then we're gonna have our creamy layer, which is just gonna sit right above, just like that, just like that, and another, and another. There we go. All right, now the next thing we're gonna do is the faces. So for the first one, we're gonna go ahead and put a little cheeky smile like a wave like that, and then just kind of some frazzled eyes with a dark outline, kind of like we did on our straw. It's kind of like, whoa, this is intense. I'm not really sure what to think. All right, then we're gonna do a similar smile with the tongue sticking out and a winking eye, and then kind of a semi-cross. So, a little silly face right there. Maybe, whoo, that's better. All right, then we're gonna have sort of, whoo, one that's just sort of like, this is going straight to my head, and he's looking upward. And looking upward. And then the next one, we're gonna have, I am happy with my boba. I've got that dazed look in my eyes. Just look at them. They're literally split in half. At least that's what it looks like to me. And, ooh yeah, boba tea. All right, so we're gonna pause right here and add some words. All right, but before we get to the words, we're gonna use some brown. We are gonna use a little bit of white, if I can find it. There's some white right there. And hopefully a little bit of black. If I have that one, there we go. All right, so the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna go black with our boba beans, and that's gonna be kind of the white creamy area that it's gonna be floating in. So the beans are kind of the darkest color that we're gonna see, but it's still gonna have that sort of brown look mixed into it. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and add some brown on top of them. Okay, for our next step, we're gonna add our standard color in the bottom. So we're gonna go brown right there. Nice kind of creamy, sweet color there at the bottom with all of our flavor. Right where your straw hit, kind of settling down under the beans. So you get like a sweet, sweet sip, and then it ends with something milky and creamy. So that should like kind of balance out the sweetness at the end, but give you that kind of pop at the beginning. And here's what I like to do next. Smudge my finger, smudge. Even if it comes off a little bit, you can do something about that. All right, so we got a little smudge, and smudge, and a little bit here. All right. Now, we're gonna be a little bit fun. We're gonna add a little color to our tongue, just like that. All right, now we're gonna leave white in these sections, but in the face section, we're gonna go ahead and color white around our face. All right, get a fair amount of white in there. And we're gonna do that pastel blending technique. So if you saw the video where we did the pastel blue flower, we did a whole lot of blending where we put the white in first, and then we mixed the light blue on top to create that really nice kind of, I guess you could say it's like a grayed version of the color, but there we go. Something really nice like that. And now we're gonna take our brown, and when we mix it in with the white, we get a much creamier, nice brown in our brown boba right here. And then like, you're supposed to have like a puffy cream layer on the top. So you can blend it more with your finger, but I kind of like the way that that looks, and I don't want to interfere too much with the face. So I'm gonna carefully sort of color around these guys, get around the details in the eye, and under baton here. All right, so I'm gonna do a little bit more on this side and under here and right about here. All right, okay, and this one around the mouth here. There. All right, so there are our happy 4 brown Bobas. I'm gonna go ahead and give a little signature down here for our friend Hadley, aka Had Edit. And now for boba beans. So I am gonna flip our work over. I do much better upside down, so hopefully this works for everybody. We're gonna make it rounded. We're gonna make our letters kind of wide. I like to start on the inside and keep it fat on the outside, so I'm keeping it thin on the left and thicker on the right. All right, so we're gonna do a little bit of overlapping here and here as well. And we're gonna do all caps. So we're gonna round off our boba beans. And keep it to the inside. And then we'll get our rounded out A here, a thick side and a thin side. And we'll keep it over there. So we got boba and beans. Beans. Now, if you're thinking about Thanksgiving, one of the best things you can do is go out and get some beans or some other canned goods and donate them to your local food bank for those in need so that they can have something wonderful to eat during Thanksgiving. It's an awesome cause and easy way to give, especially if contributing money or hospitality is a difficult thing, especially during these times. So think about your beans, think about how you can help out during this time of giving. Think about all the things that you're thankful for and show your gratitude. And we're just gonna end up with a boba beans, a plural. All right, so here we go with our super fun boba beans drawing. I hope you've enjoyed drawing 3D. It gave you a little insight into pencil. Like, subscribe, leave some suggestions in the comments. Never stop drawing and have a wonderful, wonderful week ahead.